Top story, presidential pettiness is rearing its ugly head as administration officials are reportedly holding a grudge against Facebook for passively facilitating the deaths of the people Biden governs.
Here's Surgeon General and anti-death extremist Vivek Murthy.
People deserve to have access to accurate information. And my worry is that all this is misinformation that's floating around. It's having a real cost that can be measured in lives lost.
Look, I know Mark Zuckerberg personally, and he wouldn't let Americans die needlessly from lies they read on Facebook unless he had a really good financial reason.
Shira, is it really fair to blame Facebook for the onslaught of COVID misinformation just because their platform allows users to spread conspiracy theories to billions of people at lightning speed with zero repercussions?
Well, I think the question here is how Facebook's business model is really predicated on this idea that they need you spending time there. And the thing that gets you to spend time on Facebook is really emotive content. People like seeing things that make them happy or sad or mad. And that seems to be right now a lot of COVID misinformation.
Hold on, you can't expect a business to grow if you penalize it for every little mass genocide.
Yeah, at the end of the day, these tech giants want to do the right thing. That's why they spend hundreds of millions of dollars on ads telling us they do.
Yeah, oh, boo-hoo, Facebook has a monopoly on access to information. That's on public librarians for not insisting every book tell readers that somehow, somewhere, someone's trying to kill them.
Now, moving on. This week, the Senate holds an early vote on infrastructure to finally help Americans in desperate need of fancier bridges to jump off to escape their crippling debts.
President Biden took a break from entertaining Republican demands that the bill make the IRS one drunk guy taking a nap at a Starbucks to say this.
If we get this done, a wide range of independent forecasters project that it will have an incredibly significant impact on GDP and jobs, good paying jobs with prevailing wages. And a majority of these jobs will go to people without a college degree.
Ugh, that college degree crap is a real slap in the face to those of us who worked our ass off in the photo shoot of us playing squash so Harvard's squash coach could sneak us through the side door.
Absolutely. Now, Cecilia, can the Senate get this done before heading home for the August recess, or will D.C. airports already be melted?
Well, it feels like D.C.'s already melting. I think the infrastructure has been like the running joke in Washington. Every week is infrastructure week, and it has been that way for more than 5 years. But I do think there's so much energy right now around getting something done. But I think right now there's just really hard. Maybe the only thing that Washington can agree on right now is actually holding Facebook accountable.
Why pave potholes when you could pay a bankrupted college dropout to crouch in there with a trash can lid for a helmet?
Exactly, very cute. Now look, Democrats want to pay for this through IRS enforcement, but come on, it's time to disband the IRS and designate the wealth gap as a national landmark, on par with the Grand Canyon.
Salt of the earth Americans are the backbone of this nation, and now that a government-funded windfall is coming their way, I want everyone to know in the most subtle way possible that I am one of them.
Teddy, what are you doing?
Well, my name ain't Teddy. Y'all better call me Theodosius K.W. Boots. Look at me. I only make her $300,000 a year. If I get that infrastructure cash, hoo doggy, I'll build yous all a bridge to the fishing quarry.
An awful display, Teddy.
The line, Teddy.
I'm sorry, but that is how they look and talk.
Yeah, of course, but you don't say it.
Moving on. Republican Representatives Matt Gaetz and Marjorie Taylor Greene hosted a protest after their America First tour was turned away by 3 California venues who were unsure their buildings could survive the gust of wind created when 500 people did the Nazi salute in perfect unison.
They may try to cancel us online. They may try to pursue us in real life. They may try to shut down our venues, but we will take this fight to them in the courts, in the halls of Congress, and if necessary, in the streets.
It's nice the venue clearly still let Gaetz use their bathroom to, what's the most coded way to say this? Let's go with snort a lot of cocaine.
Now, Shira, how many more venue rejections before this little grassroots movement of widespread bigotry dies out?
What's interesting in watching those venue rejections was that despite what we saw as real world problems of getting a rally off the ground, these are people that have a huge following online. Both of them have really sort of built this social media, group around them, the social media fandom, by saying really, really extreme things online, including supporting the QAnon conspiracy theory.
I think COVID misinformation and the vaccine misinformation is really top of mind right now because it's probably the best example of real present danger, that there's life and death at risk. So misinformation seems to be something that really gets the clicks and the shares?
Look, we all need to have some self-examination here. This is the inevitable result of media elites dismissing the real concerns of the underclass as the ramblings of backwoods yokels.
Okay, well, we're not the ones wearing a costume and a bag labeled cousin f***er.
Fair point.
Now, moving on, as I was preparing to produce another segment about how the floods in Europe are actually because we're not fracking enough, I was stopped dead in my tracks by this New York Times report reading, quote, "In Napa Valley, the lush heartland of America's high-end wine industry, climate change is spelling calamity. Desperation has pushed some growers to spray sunscreen on grapes to try to prevent roasting, while others are irrigating with treated wastewater from toilets and sinks because reservoirs are dry." What? My financial advisor promised the coming climate apocalypse would have zero effect on me, completely leaving out that it was a f***ing nightmare for wine yields.
Cecilia, why aren't you crying? Are you some sort of unfeeling sociopath?
It's a real problem. And anybody who lives in California, like my co-author Shira does, will know that it's a huge threat. This fire season is now year-round. It's a real problem. And so no, I should be crying.
Well, to all you women thinking of bearing a child, it is immoral to bring life into a world without Chateau Montelena.
You're absolutely right. You know what? Okay, I'll say it. We can put one cap on coal emissions.
Rich, what are you doing?
Sarah, we're running out of time. I'm desperate.
He's right. When not driving my Porsche to Wichita for the perfect yokel costume, I've been at home clutching an AR-15, protecting the entrance to my wine cave. The wine wars are coming. Whoever controls the Cabernet Franc controls the world. And when my family is inevitably murdered by wine marauders, I'll be forced to dedicate my life to vengeance.
Teddy, for God's sake, are you a Mad Max guy or a yokel?
I'm actually more of a chess master.
You can't be a third thing.
Yeah, you know what? You can't be anything next week, Teddy. You just have to be stupid old Teddy.
Fine, I'll be stupid old Teddy, Freddie Mercury impersonator.
Shut
You.
up.